Hello, Vision Bench podcast. So today, it's a beautiful day. The clouds reflecting on the lake, and today I would like to talk about the word amalgamate. So amalgamate is to join together. So like say to combine. So this word came to my mind, and I actually was thinking about it very much. The word amalgamate, to keep together. So I learned stuff on the internet, how to, DIY houseworking, like doing things in your house, like learning different skills like carpentry, plumbery, and welding. And when I try to dive into the welding, is when I think of the term amalgamate, which is to combine together. And specifically, it's like an amalgam is a metal fused with another metal. So it's like togetherness is what the word amalgamate is. And notice how the word amalgamate has the word mate in it, which means togetherness, like that bond which exists in the word amalgamate. So what kind of words have you been having in your mind?
Well, the most one I've been dealing with is impeding. Well, I include impeding energies. How I would say it, well, the reason why my mind came up with it, I'm not saying I made up the word, but I'm saying like my mind, when I start reading, I automatically get new vocabulary, and that word has been popping up in my mind because usually everywhere I go, sometimes I can cross paths with negative energies that are very impeding. Like you could feel it too, especially when you meet someone new, you could tell by their energy. Even sometimes in the household, sometimes I feel a blockage, like I feel like something's holding me back, and I consider that impeding energies. And even the close ones around you can stop you from your true potential. So that one has been on my mind a lot, and now I've been experiencing a little bit more. But obviously, I don't let that stop me from what I have to do. Of course, I still continue. Of course, I'm still going to go through my ups and downs. But when you are not on the same wavelength as other people, especially if you're doing something completely different for changing your life, or you want financial success, you want to become a different person, not everyone that you get along with, even the closest family members, friends, they're not all going to have the same vision and the same path as you. So, but sometimes it could feel like an impeding energy, because when you're talking about something different, people can have a different, viewpoint, or not agree on what you're trying to do, because they're so used to their old ways and their old habits. So when you say something that's completely new to them, they look at you like you're crazy. So I learned that obviously we can't care about even if it's the family members, we can't care about what they say. Not only that it's not their fault, because we all did grow up in a system that we're so used to the old ways, but you can always get out of that. And you definitely have to be careful with people that do hold you back, or tell you things saying that you can't do it, or you're not going to reach it, that's too hard, or I've tried that. Those are impeding energies, people who hold you back from your potential. That's why a lot of people quit, or they blame certain things, calling it a scam or certain things. But if you end up quitting, you're just proving them right, that it doesn't work. But people who don't make it say that they have, I would say, if it's a business, they're like, oh, I've tried that before and it doesn't work. It's not that it doesn't work, it's just that you didn't make it work. So don't let impeding energies hold you back from your true potential and what you're trying to achieve in your daily life. So right now, that's what I'm experiencing a little bit at the moment, but I'm here right now. You have to show up regardless, whatever setbacks that you have. But yeah, that's why I always read, always listen to audios, because when you don't, that's when it starts to get overwhelming, and you just feel like you want to give up all the time. But you have to have that strong backbone, that mindset of that anything is possible if you believe it. If you believe it, you can achieve it.
There we go. That's very well said. And I actually want to get into the term one more time, amalgamate. Also in the word, you could find alma. And alma in Spanish means soul. So amalgamate is another way of saying becoming one with your soul. To tie your body and soul together, because that balance is what we have. in order to be alive. The body and the soul. Amalgamate. So it's combination of yourself with yourself. Your internal with your external. Same as with everybody else. You're not just connecting physically, you're connecting with your soul as well. It's what I refer to amalgamate.
And I just figured out that word now. When he mentioned it, he sent me on text, and my dumbass thought it was a Spanish word, because I didn't even know what that meant until he mentioned it. Now I like when he learns new things, so he can teach me more words that are aligning to what we speak about. And I show him more vocabulary that he doesn't know about. But that's why I like that the word amalgamate, because that means unity and unison, that we say things for each other for us to grow. So that's why I like when he comes up with things, so we could talk about it more, so you guys can know that there's more vocabulary and more meaning to those certain words.
Yes, thank you for adding along, actually.
Yeah.
And also, I'd like to talk about something else, and it's kind of something we all deal with every day, and sometimes not at all. We have really strong will with ourselves, but it's addiction. Every addiction, if you think about it, is a chemical, because addiction ties to your dopamine. So say smoking, drinking, whatever, even your phone releases a chemical to your mind. Those are chemicals which make an addiction to you. An addiction is something that feels good that will become worse for you later on. It's like an addiction is like your other self whispering to you that nothing bad's gonna happen. And when you try to listen to that part of yourself, it's gonna drag you into worse territory within your mind. So addiction is like this whisper, this thing that people have. And that's why some people can't like get well with themselves, because they prioritize a thing that's nothing that they are. And it's hard things that people go through and are addicted to, actually. And that's why I feel addiction is a chemical, and it relates to chemicals, and especially with your mind, that dopamine, that what feels good.
Right.
And the more you try to pleasure your mind, the more it's gonna distract itself with these addictions. And let's not confuse addiction with necessity. Necessity is the essential, the necessary. The necessity is what gives us life, what gives us an establishment, a foundation. And the addiction is the thing that whispers to your mind, say, oh, this is good, or this daring part of yourself, that dares you, your own self, to do it. And that's what consumes people. The addictions is to need more of the necessity than to need more of the addiction.
Do you have any addictions that you have that you're trying to change?
Addictions? Well, I guess if overthinking is an addiction, I'd probably tie that as one of them.
Right.
Sometimes even sweets as well. I'll be open about that. That's something, that happens to the best of us sometimes. Right. Any you have?
Well, I'm trying to change more. It's getting less and less now, but I did have an addiction of scrolling a lot.
Same.
Yeah, that was, once I get on it, I never get off, and that's very bad. And all your time goes from entertainment and viewing other people that are doing dumb shit. Another one is caffeine. I'm a caffeine addict, but I don't think that's something I'll ever change. because I know they say a lot of caffeine is bad, but to be honest, I don't care. I love my energy drinks, and obviously it's not bad. It doesn't have any chemicals, but I am obsessed with caffeine. Every day I gotta have something that has to do with caffeine. So maybe those are maybe my top two for right now. But the other ones I'm still, working on it.
Yeah, that's the thing. The thing is that addiction happens to us, but it's up to us where we start that addiction. To start that addiction, but to need more of that necessity.
Yeah.
What keeps us alive. What gives us life. Not what gives us life and then makes it worse in the long term. But what establishes that life within us.
Right.
Is what I've been thinking. Say?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because every human goes through it, and obviously it's what makes us human that we go through things like that. But when it comes to something that you know that is not good for you, obviously that's an addiction, because that's something what you're not changing, you're choosing. So when it comes to things like that, a lot of addictions does hold you back. It can be drugs, it can be how would I say, drugs, sugar, indulging in bad things, bad environments, even hanging around friends, drinking, smoking. Those are all addictions as well. But us humans can break that, because once we keep doing that, that's when it becomes an addiction and a habit. But that's obviously our brain, how our brain works. But we can always change that. We can completely change our diaphragm of how we can go from bad to good. So, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. But if it's a consistently thing that's destroying you and your body, that's something you have to change, because it can get in the way of your life. And the more that you prolong it, the more that it becomes an issue, and then later on in life you will regret it for not changing your ways before, when you did have those type of things. But like I said, everyone goes through it. It's not we're all imperfect, but you do have to change your ways, and things like that you know it's bad. That's when it's time for you to wake up and start stepping into your new version of yourself.
So this is what I probably would try to tie these three words with. So amalgamate with yourself, become one with your soul, choose what's right for you and what's gonna become right for you, and don't let the addictions become what's impeding you on what you need for your life.
Right.
So be one with your soul, be one with everyone else, and to just be the necessity for what makes you alive.
Right.
What makes you alive and thrive is how I would tie those words.
Did you want to apply anything else to that word that you learned today?
So far, this is the only ideas I have of it so far. Anything you want to add to the word impeding?
No, I think I covered all of it. Obviously I feel good now. It's just that sometimes I can get in that habit of thinking like that. But yeah, that's what's been crossing my mind. What about you guys? Do you have any words that we're saying that you align with? What's something that you're struggling with that you want to change or to improve in your day-to-day life? Like, what old habit you want to get rid of, especially the addiction as well? What's something that you want to change, that whatever you're going through that's holding you back, that if you get rid of it now, would that be your big pivot in your life that you want to become more successful? Just let us know, and we'll cover another video. We could do it separately for you guys. I would love to do things like that, but let us know. We would love to hear from you, and we will definitely do more videos on it. Obviously you got to be open about it, but that's all I want to say right now. I don't know if you want to imply anything else.
No, I think that is it. We have our 3 terms for today, and well, that's what we learned, and I hope you learn from these words that we've explained, and tune into our next videos.
Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great night.